Good evening, everyone. I'm Keisha Marie Charles, and this is your I.A.N. News. In the headlines, Government Caucus condemns racist attacks against Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar. The Prison Officers Association concerned about the critical ambulance shortage across the prison system. 17 people granted presidential pardons. TCL reports $209 million profit for first half of 2026.
And it's a gold rush for TNT at the CSE Games. I've got all the deets and all the good stuff coming up in your sportcast.
In our top story, the government says it stands in full solidarity with Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar SC against the racist and vile attacks that have been directed against her. In an exclusive interview with I.A.N. News, leader of government business in the lower house, Barry Padarath, slammed the former PNM political leader, Dr. Keith Rowley, accusing him of fanning the flames of racial strife. Melissa Wong tells us more.
Racist, vile and abusive. These were just some of the words that leader of government business in the lower house, Barry Padarath, used to describe the type of language which Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar's senior counsel has been exposed to. It started with a controversial leaked audio which contained racist and derogatory remarks directed at the Prime Minister. Speaking with I.A.N. News in an exclusive interview on the sidelines of an African Emancipation Day commemorative event which was held at the Diplomatic Center on Thursday, Minister Padarath says he caucused with all members of government in the lower and the upper house of parliament on the matter and have declared their firm support. Minister Padarath says the Prime Minister has been standing up for herself and has been honest and direct in terms of how she has responded.
And I think it is about time we have a direct and honest conversation in the national space about how communities see each other. Because today, a comment or two or many comments have been directed at not only the Honorable Prime Minister, but when you speak about stinking coolies, in those terms, you speak about an entire community. And if that is being said about one community, could you imagine what is being said about other communities? And I think that has to sink in for all of Trinidad and Tobago.
Earlier this week, former PNM political leader Dr. Keith Rowley accused Prime Minister Persad-Bissessar of seeking to portray herself as a victim of racist attacks. Minister Padarath slammed Dr. Rowley, accusing him of fanning the flames of racial strife instead of using his platform to address burning questions related to Balize House and its financing.
It is quite curious and very strange that he did not take the opportunity to explain himself, because Balize House came about when he was political leader and Prime Minister of this country. And those are the most topical things that you would think that he would use his platform and his persona to explain to the national community about what's happening. Instead, he's hiding behind old talk, rum talk, rubber talk, and rhetoric. And rather than rely on that, one would hope that he would really address the serious fundamental issues that are impacting the party that he once led, seeing that those matters now in the public space and before law enforcement came about under his tenure as political leader of the PNM.
In addition, Minister Padarath says the utterances of former PNM Senator Renuka Sagram Singh Suklal in no way shocks him, as he accused her of supporting vile remarks against her own community. Earlier this week, Sagram Singh Suklal said as a Hindu woman and person of East Indian descent, she was in no way offended by the language heard in the leaked audio, which contained derogatory remarks against the Prime Minister.
So I am not surprised by anything that Renuka Sagram Singh Suklal has to say in the position she has adopted. In the past, she sang for her supper, and when it was time to applaud some of the most violent, disgusting comments made against the East Indian community and other communities, she was there to join in that. Let us not forget when they spoke about alligators in a murky lagoon, when we were told about the Calcutta ship just before an election in Tobago. Those are things that are real in our political history and in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, for her to have taken that position, I am not surprised, because she continues to sing for a space inside of the PNM, understanding that the only value she brings is to demean a community that she belongs to.
Minister Padarath says it is difficult to believe that everyone views each other as equals when there are haves and have-nots that see communities differently, using the most derogatory and vile terms, whether in private or public, to describe not only public officials, but fellow human beings and citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Melissa Wong, I.A.N. News.
17 people have been granted presidential pardons as the Ministry of Justice says it is stepping up efforts to strengthen rehabilitation and improve the administration of the country's constitutional pardon process. The revelation was made on Thursday, July 30th in a press statement issued by the Ministry of Justice. Justice Minister and Minister in the Office of the Attorney General, Devesh Maharaj, also chairs the Advisory Committee on the Power of Pardon, presented the warrants of presidential pardon during a ceremony held at the ministry's head office in Port of Spain on Tuesday, according to the statement. The minister said the pardon process had been affected by a significant backlog over the years, but noted that the ministry is working to accelerate applications while ensuring the process remains fair, transparent, and in keeping with the Constitution. Maharaj also congratulated the recipients, saying the pardons recognize rehabilitation, personal growth, and the value of second chances. The ministry did not release the names of the 17 individuals who received the presidential pardons. According to the ministry, the initiative reflects the government's commitment to restorative justice, strengthening public confidence in the justice system, and ensuring the constitutional power of pardon is administered efficiently. In more news, the Prison Officers Association of Trinidad and Tobago is raising concerns over what it describes as a critical shortage of properly functioning ambulances across the nation's prison system. The association said there is currently no reliable ambulance services available, creating what it called a serious gap in the service's ability to respond to medical emergencies involving both prison officers and inmates. Celine Bansilal has more.
In a statement issued on Thursday, the Prison Officers Association called on the relevant authorities to urgently address the issue by ensuring that properly functioning ambulances are strategically deployed throughout the prison system. General Secretary of the association, Lester Logie, told I.A.N. News that he hopes in the upcoming budget, government allocates funds to purchase these ambulances.
We are in the business of treating people in spite of what they are accused of, because majority are accused. They are not guilty, or they haven't been found guilty of an offense. They are just accused. And they should be provided with some basic amenities.
Logie said with approximately 1,900 inmates at the maximum security prison and 600 prison officers, the outdated ambulance, which he described as just a vehicle, is not cutting it.
Unfortunately, none of the ambulances we have meet those requirements. We basically have a vehicle we use just to get somebody somewhere.
The General Secretary is requesting 3 functioning and fully equipped ambulances for the Port of Spain prison, the Golden Grove compound, and the maximum security prison. He said the situation is especially concerning as the prison service prepares to welcome a new intake of prison officers, warning that increased staffing will place greater demands on existing resources.
If a recruit is injured and I need to get them to the closest accident and emergency department at Arima, we don't have an ambulance. We'd have to call. Sometimes we call the government service to get ambulance, and that's what they probably have to do. But you know, the waiting period is usually inordinate.
The association says prison officers deserve the resources needed to perform their duty safely, while the public expects a prison system that is adequately equipped to respond to emergencies. Celine Bansilal, I.A.N. News.
In other news, the government may have to amend the Finance Act of 2026 to make corporate deferred annuity plans exempt from tax. This is the view of Diego Martin Northeast MP Kalma Imbut, who has weighed in on the argument, which has erupted amongst Finance Minister Devendranath Tanku, Insurance Company, Sagicor, and the Association of Trinidad and Tobago Insurance Companies. Sagicor recently made it clear to its customers that certain corporate pension plans remain subject to income tax, while ATTIC stated corporate deferred annuities generally do not qualify for the new income tax exemption on pension payouts, which took effect on January 1st, 2026. Speaking at an opposition media briefing in Port of Spain on Wednesday, Imbert noted the finance bill was passed in June 2026 and tried to make corporate deferred annuity plans and approved pension plans exempt from tax. Accused the finance minister of fumbling the legislation as he explained that the corporate deferred annuity plan, which is in a different category of pension plan, is a retirement contract where the employer pays the premiums for its employees with respect to a deferred annuity. I.A.N. News reached out to Finance Minister Devendranath Tanku for a comment, but up to news time did not receive a response. And in other news, Michaela Pandey has accused Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar of abandoning the promises that brought her government to office, claiming the administration is increasingly relying on the same political tactics it once condemned. In a media release issued on Thursday, Pandey questioned why the government continues to compare its performance to that of the former People's National Movement administration if it had campaigned on delivering a higher standard of governance. More in this report.
Criticizing the government for failing to deliver on promises made during the 2025 election campaign, Patriotic Front leader Michaela Pandey said that if the PNM failed Trinidad and Tobago for 9.5 years, why is that failure now the benchmark against which to measure the government's success? She argued that citizens voted for change because they believed the United National Congress-led administration would govern differently. Pandey also criticized the government's handling of concerns surrounding the ongoing state of emergency, the use of preventive detention orders, and the exercise of state power. According to the Patriotic Front leader, legitimate public concerns are being dismissed rather than addressed. She claimed that instead of responding to criticism, the Prime Minister has accused detractors of attempting to inflame racial tensions and has labeled critics as social media trolls, deranged commentators, and race grifters. Pandey warned that such language undermines the office of the Prime Minister and contradicts the government's stated commitment to promoting national unity. She further alleged that governments facing scrutiny often seek to divert attention by creating political division instead of addressing difficult questions.
We have more news after the break. Stay with us.
We'll be right back.
Every weekday at 7 p.m., the news goes live on the I.A.N network. Watch us on our available providers with more coming soon. Also available on YouTube and Facebook. The news you have been waiting for is now here.
Mega month and deals now on at Passad's The Food King. Stock up and save big on Ibis flour 10 kg, now just $68. Sweet Hand soybean oil 1.5 liters, just $25. Flavor Right assorted ice cream 3.2 liters, get 2 buckets for just $84. Sir dishwashing liquid 750 ml, 2 bottles, now $21.99. Cotoneer bathroom tissue 24 pack, now just $32. Split piece dal 400 grams, 3 packs, only $10. Central Farms halal cut up duck, only $90. Caribbean parboiled rice 9 kg, just $74.99. Pork leg, now $18 per pound. Don't miss these mega month-end deals at Passad's The Food King. Sale end August 5th, 2026, or while stocks last.
Passad, quality value, that's our way. The real Passad's, we're here to stay. The Food King Passad's.
Rise to the occasion. Do you have a business that you want people to know about? Imagine placing your brand in front of an audience that's already engaged and locked in. With over 154 million views monthly across YouTube and Facebook, and over 5 million views daily on both platforms, based on official analytics. Now we're bringing that same audience to I.A.N. News. If they've seen your products on the Ian Show, imagine the impact when they see them on the news. Reserve your spot in the news and book your monthly packages now.
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we offer you the widest variety at the best prices. Clean, spacious surroundings. Friendly professional service because we care. And remember, we're the home of plenty for 20 savings, giveaways and samplings. Plus, we're open all day Sunday just for you. And we've got you covered with basement parking for over 200 cars for your convenience. Because our customers are our priority. Let us care for you. Extra Foods. Always extra for less.
Welcome to eFix Investments Limited, your one-stop destination for all your home essentials. Transform your bathroom with our exquisite range of showers, enclosures, luxury bathtubs, modern toilets, faucets, ceramic sinks, and vanities. Enhance your kitchen with our stainless steel sinks. Our extensive selection includes bath, kitchen accessories, as well as security doors. Visit our showroom today at Southern Main Road, Homeland Gardens, Cunupia, and let your dream home become a reality. Call us at 665-2282 or 671-2282. eFix Investments Limited, your home, your style, our passion.
Have a 30 or 60-minute television show? Don't let your message go unheard. Whether it's religion, sports, health, food, or human interest, there's never been a better time to get your program on television. Join Trinidad and Tobago's newest TV network, the I.A.N. network, where real content, real matters, and real people connect with audiences every day. Prime airtime is filling fast. Secure your weekly broadcast today and put your brand, ministry, business, or message in front of viewers across the nation. Call now to book your airtime, share your story, build your audience, inspire a nation. The I.A.N. Network. Your platform starts here.
We're back with the news on the I.A.N. Network.
Welcome back, everyone. The family of a Venezuelan woman who disappeared after a migrant boat broke apart off Trinidad's southwest coast is pleading with authorities not to end the search. 4 days after the tragedy, relatives say they still have no confirmed information about Nicole Landita's whereabouts and are urging the public to stop spreading false information. Salim Bansilal tells us more.
An emotional appeal from a desperate family. 4 days after a migrant vessel broke apart near Icarcus, relatives of missing Venezuelan national Nicole Landeta are begging authorities not to stop searching. In a video posted to Facebook, a family member said reports claiming Landeta had been rescued alive are false and risk undermining ongoing search efforts.
The search for my niece Nicole must continue until she is brought back home to be with her loved one.
The incident occurred on Saturday, July 25th, when a pirogue carrying Venezuelan nationals reportedly encountered difficulties while leaving TNT's waters. One man survived after swimming to shore. According to the family, that survivor said Landeta and another passenger were last seen clinging to an empty fuel tank after the vessel broke apart. The body of another passenger, Julio Lopez, was later recovered after washing ashore in Icarcus.
Which is why I earnestly beg that the sharing of false information be avoided, since it only hinders the operation.
The family says checks with hospitals, immigration authorities, and police have produced no trace of Landeta. Relatives also rejected claims circulating online linking her to criminal organizations, saying she had been working at a hotel in the country and was trying to return home to Venezuela to reunite with her children. As search efforts continue, the family is appealing to anyone with verified information to contact the authorities immediately. The tragedy comes just days after another migrant boat disaster off Los Iros claimed 2 lives after several Venezuelans attempted to leave our shores to make their way back home using an unauthorized port of exit.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service says it is putting measures in place to ensure businesswoman Star Sabga complies with the conditions of a court-ordered house arrest at her apartment complex. Speaking at the TTPS weekly media briefing on Wednesday, Public Information Officer and Assistant Superintendent Obi Russell said officers have already begun the process of implementing the High Court's order and will assess Sabga's residence at Regent Towers in Bayshore West Moorings before determining the level of police presence required.
Living facility, and then we will deploy our resources to ensure that we could comply and do our jobs without affecting the normal smooth runnings of other persons living in that facility as well.
outside Sabga's apartment, Russell said that decision would be made after the assessment of the premises. Sabga was released from custody on Monday after High Court Judge Vijay Paul ordered that she serve the remainder of her preventive detention order under house arrest. As part of the court's conditions, Sabga surrendered her passport and other travel documents, as well as all communication devices. She is also prohibited from communicating directly or indirectly with anyone outside her residence without the prior approval of the Commissioner of Police. In other news, police have recovered 4 stolen vehicles following an intelligence-led operation after 3 vehicles were stolen from the Laventil area within hours of each other. The thefts occurred between the night of July 27th and the early hours of July 28th, when thieves targeted vehicles parked outside homes in different parts of Laventil. More in this report.
The stolen vehicles included 2 white Nissan AD wagons and a silver Nissan Tida. In one case, a white Nissan AD wagon valued at approximately $45,000 was stolen after being parked and secured on the afternoon of July 27th. Another owner awoke to discover broken glass outside their home before realizing their silver Nissan Tida had been stolen. In a third incident, the owner of another white Nissan AD wagon was alerted by neighbors that the vehicle had disappeared overnight. Acting on intelligence, officers of the Port of Spain Criminal Investigations Department, supported by the Port of Spain Task Force, Central Division Task Force, and Northeastern Division Task Force, carried out a coordinated exercise in the Mova area early on July 28th. During the operation, police recovered all 3 vehicles reported stolen from Laventil. 2 of the vehicles were found in Mova, while another was recovered on Shakonia Avenue off Coconut Drive in Mova. Officers also recovered a 4th white Nissan AD wagon, which had been stolen from central Trinidad. Investigators discovered the vehicle was displaying a different registration number, suggesting an attempt had been made to disguise its identity. Head of the Northeastern Division, Senior Superintendent Claire Guy Allen, speaking with I.A.N. News earlier on one of the seizures, commended the officers involved but also issued a warning to criminal elements to stay out of her division. In a brief statement to I.A.N. News, Guy Allen said, "The recovery of these stolen vehicles is another clear demonstration of the relentless work being carried out by our officers. Every recovered vehicle represents a disruption to criminal networks and a step towards making our communities safer. We remain committed to pursuing those responsible and returning stolen property to its rightful owners." She continued to say, "Let this serve as a warning to criminals. There will be no safe haven for those involved in vehicle theft or any other criminal activity. Officers of the Northeastern Division are working around the clock using intelligence-led policing and coordinated operations to track offenders, recover stolen property, and bring those responsible before the courts. We will continue to maintain sustained pressure on criminal elements across the country until they are held accountable." She ended by asking citizens if they see something, then say something, and to immediately contact the police when suspicious persons or vehicles are seen within their community. Investigations into the thefts and the recovered vehicles are ongoing. Celine Bansilal, I.A.N. News.
In other news, Trinidad and Tobago is today observing World Day Against Trafficking in Persons 2026 under the theme Trapped Behind the Scam, highlighting how traffickers use fake online job offers and social media to lure victims into exploitation. Here's more.
Authorities are expanding public awareness campaigns, frontline training, and victim support services in a bid to combat human trafficking. That's according to Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander, who highlighted some of the work being done by the government in his message on the occasion of World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. This year's theme is Trapped Behind the Scam. Minister Alexander noted that the counter-trafficking unit continues to strengthen its response while maintaining the country's Tier 2 ranking in the U.S. Trafficking in Persons report. In 2026, Operation Purple Rain rescued 4 trafficking victims, including 2 minors, dismantled a trafficking network in Rio Claro, and led to 29 criminal charges against 2 suspects. Anyone with information is encouraged to contact the Counter-Trafficking Unit at 800-4CTU, that's 800-4288, or via WhatsApp at 868-702-0467. Dalisa Guralal, I.A.N. News.
The attorney representing businessman Dominic Hadid, his wife Genevieve, and their elderly relative, Star Sabga, says the defense did not leak the now viral 15-minute audio recording at the center of the controversial preventive detention order case. Speaking during a news conference on Tuesday, senior counsel Faris Al-Rawi also revealed that the state has abandoned its bid to keep Sabga in prison while appealing a high court order that granted her house arrest.
The Attorney General's office says it has been forced to set the record straight after correspondence from the Registrar of the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council was, in its words, misrepresented by sections of the media and widely circulated on social media. The clarification relates to the ongoing legal battle involving Dominic and Genevieve Hadid. According to the Attorney General, the legal process began after the first Court of Appeal ruled in favor of the Hadids. The state immediately sought leave to appeal to the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council. A differently constituted Court of Appeal later granted that leave and ordered a stay of the earlier judgment. That stay meant the Hadids would remain in prison while the state pursued its appeal before the Privy Council. The Attorney General says the state then filed its notice of appeal and requested an expedited hearing before the Privy Council. At the same time, attorneys for the Hadids also sought an urgent hearing, arguing they should be released before the Privy Council's summer recess. However, the Privy Council declined to hear the appeal during the final days of its current legal term. Instead, it suggested that the issue of the Hadids' continued detention should be addressed through a separate application seeking to lift the stay. The Attorney General says this response has been misunderstood. According to the office, the state's appeal was accepted and has already been restored to the Privy Council's October term, although a hearing date has not yet been fixed. It also says the Privy Council never rejected the state's appeal. Rather, the court declined to fast-track the matter before its vacation and pointed to another legal avenue available to the Hadid. The statement also reveals that the Registrar of the Privy Council took the unusual step of issuing a further clarification after media reports suggested the state had suffered a legal defeat. In that clarification, the Registrar explained that if the Hadids applied to lift the stay, the court would deal with that application quickly and require the state to respond within a shortened time frame. The registrar also allowed documents to be filed by email because of the urgency, provided they were later regularized through the court's electronic filing system. The Attorney General describes that additional correspondence as unprecedented and says it reflects the level of misinformation surrounding the case. The office is also warning lawyers, journalists, and commentators that intentionally misrepresenting court statements, decisions, or directions could amount to contempt of court. It is urging anyone reporting on the matter to ensure their information is accurate and properly verified. The state's appeal will now proceed before the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council during its October term, while any application relating to the Hadids' continued detention would have to be dealt with separately.
Over $900,000 in disaster relief and home repair grants was recently distributed to 70 households from the Tunapuna, Piako, and Arima regions to invest in safer homes and resilient communities. Here's more. And in other news, deplorable road conditions, severe potholes and drainage issues are among the challenges plaguing residents in a small community in McBean-Couva. Dalisa Guralal tells us more.
Residents of Princess Avenue fear that they may soon be cut off from the rest of the village as their bridge, their lone access to their community, is falling. They say that the condition of the roads has worsened over the past 10 years, and their pleas to their representatives have fallen on deaf ears. They're calling for some intervention before they are truly cut off. They say they are a forgotten community. Princess Avenue in McBean-Couva is home to over 100 residents, including school-aged children and elderly people with mobility challenges. A church towards the end of the stretch also welcomes congregants, but the deteriorating roadway and failing bridge pose a challenge to residents' quality of life.
We who are have caused to go out and come in, our vehicles are being damaged and some of us have certain kinds of vehicles. It is costly. I have to be repairing my vehicle every 3 months now, on average. And the elderly man who is going out, and because he has certain things that he does to keep himself, going, he has to call on us to assist him in physically fixing his vehicle.
Mr. Burnett, who has lived there for around 20 years, told I.A.N. News, despite appealing to successive administrations, nothing has been done.
For 10 years, that's what they're telling us when we call them. They ain't getting funding because they know the PNM in power and we ain't getting no money.
And when they come in power,
and now they're in power, we ain't even seen them.
And they give us the talk, wait till the budget pass. When the budget pass. I said that talk, no action.
In response, Couva South MP Barry Padarath said the administration is committed to repairing the road and bridge. He asked for the residents to have some patience while the administration works to address these issues. Dalisa Gurulal, I.A.N. News.
Up next, we have James Saunders, who tells us what's happening in sports.
Well, I tell you what, B is for bling, and all they do is bling, 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 no matter what. You gotta stay tuned to find out. Up next in sports.
We'll be right back.
Every weekday at 7 p.m., the news goes live on the I.A.N. network. Watch us on our available providers with more coming soon. Also available on YouTube and Facebook. The news you have been waiting for is now here.
Fair and Square, conveniently located near the Endeavour Chaguanas flyover. Shop now for all back-to-school and vacation essentials. We carry the widest variety at the best prices. Discover incredible value and a shopping experience that's fast, easy, and affordable. Fair and Square, your one-stop shop for all your household needs with safe and convenient parking. Any and everything all under one roof.
I.A.N TT offers over 25 years of experience, are retinal specialist and the latest cutting-edge equipment. We handle diagnostic and surgical needs for retina, cataract, glaucoma, pediatric and diabetic eye care. Also glasses. We provide it all under one roof. Our head office is located seconds off the Freeport flyover. Branches also in North, South and Tobago. Call 349-EYES for more information. Payment plans are available. I.A.N TT, taking eye care into the future.
Whether it's 1, 2,
or a truckload of tires,
we've got the perfect tire for every application, ensuring you're ready for any road ahead.
Passenger SUV 4x4, heavy or light truck, you name it, we've got the tire that suits your ride perfectly.
From forklifts to industrial giants, construction vehicles, and agricultural workhorses.
We've got the right tire for every job you tackle. Brandtech, your one-stop solution for all your tire needs.
Ready for a home makeover? Head to Felicity Furniture and Appliances, where style, comfort, and savings come together. Luxurious sofas, elegant dining sets, beds, stoves, freezers, and more. Visit us at Lot 10B, Pierre Road, Felicity, Chaguanas.
Thinking of giving your home that modern finish? Then visit ABC Bar Doors and Windows. We are the largest supplier of hardwood finishing goods. Get kitchen and pool tiles, faucets, doors, windows, sinks, and so much more. Come in or give us a call. ABC Bar Doors and Windows, always a better choice.
Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago, driven by 2 silent threats, diabetes and high cholesterol. But now there's a powerful ally, introducing Berberine Plus by Asia Nutrition, clinically proven to stabilize blood sugar and keep cholesterol levels in check. With 99.9% pure extract, you get superior absorption and real results. Available now at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus, your heart deserves better.
Have a 30 or 60-minute television show? Don't let your message go unheard. Whether it's religion, sports, health, food, or human interest, there's never been a better time to get your program on television. Join Trinidad and Tobago's newest TV network, the I.A.N. network, where real content, real matters, and real people connect with audiences every day. Prime Airtime is filling fast. Secure your weekly broadcast today and put your brand, ministry, business, or message in front of viewers across the nation. Call now to book your airtime. Share your story. Build your audience. Inspire a nation. The I.A.N. Network. Your platform starts here.
We're back with the news on the I.A.N. Network.
All its goal, all in my watch. Don't believe me? Just watch as the Trinidad and Tobago team struck gold in spectacular fashion at the Central American and Caribbean Games in Santo Domingo, winning the men's 4x100-meter freestyle relay and breaking 2 records in the process. The quartet of Liam Carrington, Dylan Carter, Zarek Wilson, and Nikolai Blackman, they stopped the clock at 3 minutes, 16.91 seconds to finish ahead of Mexico and Venezuela. The winning time shattered the previous CSC Games record of 3 minutes, 17 seconds and 95 and also established a new Trinidad and Tobago national record. Carrington's opening split of 49.30 seconds was another standout moment as he also lowered his own national age group record in the 100-meter freestyle.
On the men's 4x100-meter freestyle, I've been doing that race here at the CAC Games since 2018. We got bronze. And in 2023, we also got bronze. I was on both of those relays. And this relay win has been a goal of mine for years. I've been trying to get these boys. I knew we had the talent. So to really put it together tonight and with a games record to boot, I'm so proud of those guys. I think we only have up to go on that relay. I really think we can swim that relay at the highest level. I don't like to speak too much about these things, but we have the potential to go all the way with that thing, and I'm so excited about what the future has to hold in that event.
And let the goal rush continue as there was more joy as TNT cyclists led by Kwesi Brown stormed to gold in the men's Karen to add another title to his impressive international resume. Well, the two-time Olympian produced a dominant ride to give Team TTO another gold medal. And there was more success for that crew as TTO's Tennille Campbell and Alexi Costa combined to win bronze in the women's Madison. Earlier, that man, Akil Campbell, the name sounds familiar. Well, that's because he's the brother of Tennille Campbell, also won bronze in the men's Omnium, continuing his role as one of the nation's leading endurance riders.
Hi, my name is Akil Campbell. I just placed third in the Omnium event for Trinidad and Tobago. I'm happy. It was a very hard race, and through grit and determination, I was able to get to the place.
I'll talk about sibling strength, and you're going to be tired and fed up of gold because that's what we're going to be talking about. As there was more gold as Nikolai Blackman continued to shine for TNT at the CSC Games, capturing his second individual gold medal of the meet with victory in the men's 100-meter freestyle. The University of Tennessee standout adds the title to his earlier 50-meter freestyle goal, further cementing his status as one of the region's fastest and best swimmers.
It's a surreal feeling, not gonna lie. Who would have think coming into this meet you would have won 2 goals, but at this rate, you just gotta keep up with the momentum that you're taking it from the last 2 events. I think putting it towards gold, silver, or bronze, rather I came here looking for best times. And that's what I'm doing here today.
Okay, at the end, a message to all the people in Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you for all the support.
Oh, they're doing it in big as TNT made its presence felt at the Glasgow 2006 Commonwealth Games with a strong performance on the track and field. Well, the Dream Richards, he looked in complete control, winning his men's 400-meter semi-final in 45.06 seconds, looking well-oiled as he booked his place in the final. And at the Velodrome, Nicholas Paul, Jacine Phillip, Zion Polido won TNT's first cycling medal of the Games, powering to bronze in the men's team sprint. And that is a cycling event, just in case you're wondering. And of course, we can't forget the man, Keyshawn Walcott, the Olympic champion, also advanced to the men's javelin final after producing a best throw of 78.68 meters. Team TTO will now be hoping for more success as the days continue. After all of the celebration, we just temper it just a bit as West Indies cricketers continue to unite to celebrate the life and legacy of Sir Garfield Sobers. Some of the game's biggest names paid heartfelt tributes to the legendary all-rounder during his state funeral at Kensington Oval in Barbados. Well, that included some current and past members of the West Indies team.
His footsteps.
So when the opportunity arose, I had to be here. Firstly, as a Barbadian, as a cricketer, as a director of the BCA. There were many reasons why I just couldn't miss this opportunity to be able to celebrate the life of the greatest cricketer that ever lived.
He impacted my career immensely, so to take time from our busy schedules to come here and celebrate his life is definitely top tier. So for me, it means a lot, and I'm going to cherish this moment, obviously, to be here for his last.
We pretty much dedicated the win to him yesterday, the test match against Pakistan, and got the opportunity to come back. We had no choice pretty much. We said pay respects to the great man, see him off, and return to what he's done for West Indies cricket, what he's done for cricket around the world, what he's done for Barbados as well. So, just to be here to pay respects is really, really great honor.
Yesterday's been, obviously we dedicated it to Sir Gary, coming back home to show our respects. He was a legend in the game, paved the pathway for both us and Justin, so it's just an honor to come back home and show respects to the legend.
Oh, just a bit of kung fu sinking along those, paying their respects to Sir Vivian Richards and Sir Curtly Ambrose, who travelled from Antigua as part of an official delegation to honour the man widely regarded as cricket's greatest all-rounder.
You speak of Sir Gary, you speak of the West Indies, you speak of what he would have achieved. And as a young man growing up, Sir Gary was the individual that I felt he was Mr. Cricket. I don't felt that there could be anyone who could be better than Sir Gary. The first time I think I met him was in Antigua. I met him, he came with a team from Barbados at the time. And I was a young man growing up then, and I think he didn't do that all that well with the bat. But just seeing him walk and the color up, man, he's special. That guy is Mr. Cricket, as I said, I never believed that there could be anyone who could get any better than what we would have seen in Sir Gary.
And Curtly Ambrose also fondly shared memories of the great man.
It's a sad loss, not only for Barbados or the West Indies, but cricket in general. I mean, they didn't come any better, right? For myself and many others, the greatest ever cricketer. And there's no way I would have missed this funeral, pay my last respect to the great man. We inspired so many of us. I mean, as a young man growing up in Antigua, all I kept hearing, Sobers. And to have met him and chatted with him for on many occasions, to me, was a real privilege.
Share some of those interactions with him, some of those special memories.
I mean, I remember in 1990, there was some issues whether she was selected or not. And Sir Gary stood up and said that he can't see a West Indies team without Curtly Ambrose. So I reckon he sort of saved my career. I mean, he was just a wonderful person. Always willing to serve, to give his knowledge, give his experience, and all the chat I had with him was really a privilege and an honor. Even though I thought I was a big dog, Listening to Sir Gary, I mean, I've always remained humble, just listening to him.
All right, that's all I've got for sport. Time to go take a gold shower. Or should that be cold shower? I'm all gold mystified at all the performances from the TNT athletes. For the team, I'm James Saunders. I'll catch you later.
We'll be right back.
Have a 30 or 60-minute television show? Don't let your message go unheard. Whether it's religion, sports, health, food, or human interest, there's never been a better time to get your program on television. Join Trinidad and Tobago's newest TV network, the I.A.N. network, where real content, real matters, and real people connect with audiences every day. Prime airtime is filling fast. Secure your weekly broadcast today and put your brand, ministry, business, or message in front of viewers across the nation. Call now to book your airtime. Share your story, build your audience, inspire a nation. The I.A.N. Network. Your platform starts here.
Big savings and new arrivals at Grade 1 PVC ceiling. PVC panels $25, heat barrier tiles $7, WPC panels $32, and marble sheets $180. Daybay, Tunapuna, Warren Road, Tobago, and our new location at Sangre Grande. Shop today before it's gone.
WellKit multivitamins are great tasting, supports rapid development, contributes to strong bones, includes vitamins A, C, D, and so much more. Be a super kid. Trust the WellKit range.
Every weekday at 7 p.m., the news goes live on the I.A.N network. Watch us on our available providers with more coming soon. Also available on YouTube and Facebook. The news you have been waiting for is now here.
Your dream home starts at Advertise Marketing Home Improvement Center. Whether you're building, renovating, or upgrading, we have everything you need. From stylish home decor, kitchenware, vanities, bed and bath essentials, outdoor furniture and mini appliances, to premium wrought iron products. Shop security steel doors, PVC and aluminum windows, zinc, RHS, stainless steel items, and custom enclosures. Visit us at Old Southern Main Road, Freeport, or our branches in Aranguez and SS Erin Road, Daybay.
Taj Diamond is redefining luxury living in Georgetown, Guyana. This upscale community is rapidly emerging as the country's next crown jewel, located in one of the region's fastest-growing and most sought-after destinations. Perfectly positioned along the New Heroes Highway and the newly completed Busby Dam Road, Taj Diamond offers the ideal combination of convenience, connectivity, and prestige. And now, the vision is becoming reality. Construction is underway and progressing exceptionally well. From foundation to finish, every detail reflects superior craftsmanship, modern design, and exceptional quality, delivering unmatched value. Choose from stunning 3-story residences starting at just $499,000. Select from spacious 3, 4, and 5-bedroom homes offering up to 2,350 square feet of beautifully designed living space. Each residence features premium finishes, chef-inspired kitchens, elegant contemporary bathrooms, and private 2-car garages. Enjoy flexible payment plans, up to 50% in-house financing up to 10 years, and an optional leaseback income program designed to help maximize your returns. Developed by an internationally experienced team of licensed architects and engineers with more than 50 years of expertise and over 6,000 homes completed worldwide. Now is the perfect time to secure your place in this exceptional community before completion. To explore all developments, visit us today.
We're back with the news on the I.A.N network.
Thanks for staying with us. Trinidad Cement Limited has reported a sharp increase in profit for the first half of 2026, despite a drop in sales in some parts of the region. More in this review of the company's unaudited financial statements released on July 30th.
Trinidad Cement Limited's net income rose to $209 million for the 6 months ended June 30th, compared with $74 million in the same period last year. Revenue, however, slipped 4% to just under $1.2 billion. The director's statement said this reflects weaker cement market conditions in Trinidad and Tobago and the closure of already mixed concrete and aggregates business at the end of the first quarter, adding that this was partially offset by stronger volumes in Jamaica. Despite lower revenue, the company significantly improved its profitability, with gross profit rising 36% to $487 million and operating earnings increasing 64% to $333 million. TCL credited this to improved operational efficiency. Jamaica remained the group's strongest performer, generating $328 million, or about 98% of operating earnings
earnings before other expenses. Guyana and Barbados also recorded improved results, while TCL's local operations posted an operating loss as lower demand was compounded by a substantial increase in natural gas prices that took effect in January. Cash and cash equivalents rose to $858 million by the end of June, up from $592 million at the end of last year, while capital spending fell significantly following major investments linked to the Jamaica expansion project in 2025. Looking ahead, TCL says market conditions in Trinidad and Tobago remain difficult. The company says local cement sales continue to face pressure from increased competition, noting that cement imports into Trinidad and Tobago rose 173% in the first half of 2026 compared with the second half of 2025. It says pricing and other commercial measures have been introduced to help recover sales and improve competitiveness.
The College of Science, Technology and Applied Arts of Trinidad and Tobago, COSTAT, has received formal approval for its new nursing assistant program. The announcement was made at a ceremony at COSTAT's City campus on Wednesday. More in this report.
The program, approved by the Nursing Council of Trinidad and Tobago, will admit its first cohort of up to 200 students in September, with a second intake scheduled for January. Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo, delivering the feature address, described nursing assistants as vital to patient care and commended COSTAT for widening opportunities in healthcare education. He confirmed the ministry's support through clinical training partnerships. Parliamentary Secretary Hansen Narayan Singh, speaking on behalf of the Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training, said the initiative reflects government commitment to linking education with employment while addressing the demand for skilled healthcare workers. COSTAT Board Chair Romar Achat Saini called the approval a historic milestone, while Nursing Council President Corey George noted the program had met the Council's rigorous standards. Acting COSTAT President Dr. Nasim Koilas highlighted the college's record for graduating more than 5,000 nurses over the past 25 years. She said the institution continues to focus on competence, compassion, and integrity. COSTAT, the country's largest provider of nursing and allied health education, says the program will help build a more resilient national healthcare system. Amber Francis, I.A.N. News.
Underwater conditions are hampering the retrieval of the remaining victims of the July 17th MV Barima tragedy in Guyana. This and more in our regional roundup.
Local divers and a diving team from French Guiana says dangerous conditions inside the MV Barima wreckage have made recovery efforts extremely difficult, with poor visibility and strong currents limiting access. The government ferry sank on July 18th during a voyage from Georgetown to Port Kaituma. Of the 179 people believed to have been aboard, 76 were rescued, while recovery teams have shifted their focus to retrieving bodies still believed trapped inside the wreck. Guyana has appointed an international commission to investigate the country's worst maritime disaster after the sinking of the MV Barima claimed nearly 80 lives. President Irfan Ali says the 5-member commission, chaired by former Belize Attorney General Philip Godfrey Smith, will investigate passenger management, possible overcrowding, cargo loading, safety equipment, vessel maintenance, and whether negligence or misconduct contributed to the tragedy. Survivors have alleged that the ferry was overcrowded, overloaded with cargo, and taking on water before it sank. Public Works Minister Juan Edghill has also acknowledged that dozens of passengers were not listed on the official manifest, raising concerns about possible staff collusion. Staying in Guyana, the country is laying the groundwork for future electricity projects through a new partnership between the Guyana Power and Light Company and Pacific and Oro Power Incorporated. The two sides signed a non-binding memorandum of understanding this week to identify, assess, and develop potential energy infrastructure projects. According to its website, Oro is a global investing vehicle focusing on infrastructure, oil and gas, and energy. The website, however, does not include details about where it is headquartered or its ownership. The agreement does not commit either side to fund or build any project, but create a framework for evaluating future opportunities. The partnership will consider investments in power generation, transmission and distribution networks, substations, renewable energy, battery storage, and grid modernization. Each proposal will still require technical, financial, regulatory, and commercial approvals before moving ahead. Guyana Power says the collaboration supports its efforts to expand and modernize Guyana's electricity network through strategic partnerships. The government said the initiative aligns with its efforts to improve the country's energy infrastructure, improving reliability and supporting long-term economic growth as demand for electricity continues to rise. The Caribbean Development Bank has approved a US $100,000 grant to support a study into the creation of a regional stock exchange serving CARICOM member states. The funding will allow the Caribbean Community Private Sector Organization to examine whether a shared securities market is practical and how it could be designed. The study forms the first phase of a broader initiative to improve capital market integration across the region. Researchers will assess demand, legal and regulatory requirements, international models, and ways to improve access to financing, particularly for small businesses, women-led enterprises, and young entrepreneurs. According to the CDB, investment opportunities and access to financing are currently restrictive because of the fragmented nature of Caribbean capital markets. It suggested that a unified regional exchange could enhance liquidity, lower financing expenses, and allow enterprises to secure capital with greater efficiency. The feasibility study is being supported by the CDB and the Inter-American Development Bank, with findings expected to guide future decisions on regional financial market integration. Celine Bansilal, I.A.N. News.
After 4 days without direct strikes between the two adversaries, the U.S. has announced the launch of a heavy wave of strikes against Iran. We explore this and more in our international roundup.
The United States has launched what it called a heavy wave of strikes against Iran following Tuesday's attempted missile attacks on American forces in Jordan and ships in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. Central Command said dozens of Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps sites were hit, including command centers, missile and drone facilities, and coastal defense positions. It said all Iranian missiles were intercepted. Iranian state media reported casualties, including a father, mother, and a 2-year-old child killed following a strike on a home on the island. The escalation comes after joint U.S.-Saudi strikes earlier this week on Iranian-backed militaries in Iraq, which the Popular Mobilization Forces said killed at least 20 of its members. Iraq's presidency denounced the bombings as a violation of sovereignty. President Trump vowed retaliation after the Jordan attack, telling reporters, quote, "We're going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them," end quote. According to a BBC report, Saudi officials have privately urged de-escalation, even as regional tensions widen. Russia has charged Telegram founder Pavel Durov over alleged links to Ukrainian intelligence operations, placing him on an international wanted list. The Federal Security Service of the Russian Federation claims the messaging app was used to coordinate activities against Russian interests. Durov, who has lived in exile for years, has not responded publicly. According to Russian state media, prosecutors accuse Telegram of enabling, quote, illegal intelligence networks, end quote, though no evidence has been released. Russia is reportedly seeking his arrest through international channels, though it remains unclear which mechanism will be pursued. Telegram remains one of the most widely used apps in Ukraine and Russia. Durov himself has previously accused Russian authorities of fabricating pretext to restrict Telegram, calling it an attempt to, quote, suppress the right to privacy and free speech, end quote. He said it's part of Russia's broader crackdown on digital platforms seen as undermining state control. Durov holds citizenship of Russia, France, the United Arab Emirates, and St. Kitts and Nevis. Well, that was your international roundup. I'm Celine Bansilal, I.A.N. News.
It's now time for the weather forecast.
Tonight, Trinidad and Tobago can look forward to partly cloudy and cloudy skies with scattered light to medium showers. There is a medium 40% chance of heavier showers or isolated thunderstorm later tonight. Tomorrow, we can look forward to scattered showers and the medium 40 to 60% chance of a few heavy showers or thunderstorms. Conditions are expected to gradually become settled during the late afternoon period. Seas are moderate with waves reaching 2 to 2.5 meters in open water and 1 meter in sheltered areas. Some parts are expected to be occasionally choppy.
And that brings us to the end of our newscast. I'm Keisha Marie Charles. On behalf of all of us here, thanks for watching and have a good night.